Hi, Sister Nkechi. Are you there?
Hello, sir. Good evening. Good evening, Brakachi.
Good evening.
Good evening, oh.
Yeah, good man.
See you. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, this is work day. It is not happy Sunday for us.
Oh, yes, you observe Sabbath.
Yes, we observe Sabbath. So
Okay. Oh, wow. Wonderful. Well done. Oh.
thank you. How are you doing and the baby?
We are fine. We are just finishing from church here, actually.
Oh, we're 8
Yes.
hours. Okay, you guys are 8 hours behind us, I think. This is 1:26 over there.
No, 2:26.
Okay, 7 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
This is 9:26 here.
Okay.
Oh, nice meeting you. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Sir Tony, good evening, sir. Thank you on the line.
Yeah, it's mute. Yeah, it's muted.
Okay.
The meeting is already on record.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I thought maybe it would be best if the meeting starts before the recording. Or is it okay like this?
You're saying it's already recorded, right?
Yeah, it's already recording.
I was going to stop.
In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so yeah, we are talking about artificial intelligence. So that's the subject matter. And this is, can you see the next slide?
Yes.
The content. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. So this is what we're going to cover. We'll talk about what AI is. Then, so there are some of the terminologies that are being used in AI. Some things we want to differentiate to make things clearer to us. Then we'll talk about careers in AI. Then how can a novice who does not know anything about AI, how can the person move from being a novice to being a professional that's stepping into AI? Then after that, we'll talk about what to learn. I mean, what should the person learn? And where can the person learn it? Then we'll use a practical use case of AI just to tell us what's like the possibilities of AI, what AI is doing. And since I'm in the field of natural language processing, what comes to my mind is ChatGPT. I will take us through what ChatGPT can do, how you can use it to prepare for message. If you're a pastor, ChatGPT can help you to prepare your message, your sermon. Amen. So if you're writing code, ChatGPT can help you to write your code for you. It can write the code for you. It can help you to translate code. Recently, my supervisor told me, okay, I wanted to do something with MATLAB. So I couldn't do it because the package has limitation. It's an optimization with MATLAB. So I needed to do it with Python. So I just copied the MATLAB code and pasted it in ChatGPT. I told it translate it to MATLAB, to Python. It translated it to Python for me. It even gave me areas of suggested things that I could do to make the code better. And it suggested and did it for me. So there are a whole lot of things you can do with ChatGPT. You can use it to write your thesis, all those things. So I'll give us a practical overview of ChatGPT. But now we'll start with what AI is. What is AI? So AI generally means impacting human intelligence on machines. Yeah, just you are loading your intelligence, your knowledge, you are transferring it to a machine. And that brings the fear or the reason why some people are afraid of. I mean, if I teach the machine to do everything I can do, then would there be any job for me again? Yeah, and we hear about layoff there, and there are layoffs and all those things. And even those that are coding, that are programmers now, we're also afraid now, okay, do companies still need programmers anymore? Since you can tell ChatGPT to build a website, to write a website script and all those things, it will write it for you. You can tell it to write test cases for you, give it a code, write test cases, it will write the test cases for you. So if you are being employed as someone that writes test cases, and that's your work as a programmer, now ChatGPT could help the companies to do that. So are you still needed? So these are some of the challenges that AI poses also. Yeah, although I was discussing with someone yesterday when we were talking about these challenges of AI, like, okay, what if AI can do the job that every human being can do? That means that nobody will be employed. I said yes. That means I will just sit down at home and be eating. AI will be doing the job and will be being paid to eat. Since AI is doing the job, nobody is working again. AI is doing everything. AI will help to cultivate the farm and do everything. So maybe, yeah, we just sit at home, we eat. We don't do anything. AI will just do everything. We'll get paid for doing nothing. Maybe, I don't know. So when we are transferring our knowledge, the human intelligence actually to machines, that is AI, impacting the knowledge to machines. So these are some of the terminologies that are being used in the space of AI. Data science. So from this map or from this sketch, you can see something here that will have data mining, we'll have machine learning, we'll have deep learning, we'll have artificial intelligence. So data science is just like a model of all these things that encompasses everything, the model of them. Then from the red, from this red stuff, the red square cube, the red rectangle, we see data and data mining. So from when you have a raw data, you process the data, you cleanse the data, do exploratory, including model algorithms and communicating stuff. It's just like mining information. So whenever you hear data mining is just you want to mine information from data. It's not like necessarily to go to the web and to be collecting data. So data mining is just to mine, to get insight from data. So this is the process of getting the insight. So that's data mining, the one in the red. Why the one in the, okay, let's talk about then machine learning encompasses data mining. So data mining is included in machine learning, including some things like neural network and data production. Yeah, data production is also in machine learning. But communicating the results, this communicating visual reports is not really a part of machine learning. So machine learning, once you're able to clean the data, to train the model, and to get it to data production, you don't need, that's not really the part of machine learning. So deep learning, the one in the blue, it's like a subset of machine learning in the sense that machine learning, for example, if you've done regression, it's a neural network actually, but it has one neuron only, just one particular neuron. Yeah, so but when you have different neurons, they are very much. So you would say that these neurons are deep, just in various neurons connected, interconnected. So with many layers. So this is deep. So that's what is called deep learning. Actually, it is deep neural network. So when the network is very deep, it's too much nodes or neurons connected. So it is deep, you are learning deeply. And artificial intelligence actually takes the model in the neural network data production and intelligent agents is the artificial intelligence. And of course, everything is just, our goal is to go back to reality. We want to use them to solve a problem. That's just the goal of everything. So this is just the major terminology here. Okay, so the next thing I have here is careers in AI. We see data engineer, data analyst, and data scientist. Maybe me and they were like, what's the difference between data analyst and data scientist and data engineer and all those things? So this is just like a diagram. A data engineer is more of software because he gets data. He has the data, he prepares the data for a data scientist, a data engineer. And to prepare the data, scientists will be able to consume the data. It takes a lot of, it goes through pipeline, like data pipelines and all those things. Data engineering, different sources, can collect data that is coming from the internet, data that is coming from database. Probably data may not even be related, but he'll be able to connect those unrelated data through a pipeline that will be able to match them in a way that the data scientists can be able to use these data. Let's take, for instance, that I want to train a model, maybe that will predict whether an email is spam or not. Most machine learning algorithms we have, they use numerical data. Machine learning use numerical data. And since data is coming from, I know text data is not even like, it's not a tabular data. To get those data now, a data engineer will be able to bring those data. Probably the data could be from online resources, maybe from, after collecting those data, we'll collect the data, then do some processing on the data, present the data in such a way that the data scientists can be able to consume this data. So that's this thing, data engineer. And of course, a data scientist is continues from where a data engineer stops, although at connection, at times a data engineer midway from where the data engineer could actually maybe, it just depends on the sense. The data scientist normally he trains the models. He's the one that will train the model, and he needs a high knowledge of mathematics, statistics, and also programming. Yes, because for instance, when you talk about machine learning models, talk about logistic regression or whatsoever, you discover that you're talking about mathematics. All those models are mathematics, actually. Yes. Good in more of mathematics, statistics, and also programming. But data engineer has more of software engineering and programming. Itself should be someone that should be able to tell a story. A data analyst to me is a story. He looks at the data, he analyzes the data, and he tries to tell a story from the data. So a data analyst may not necessarily code. Yes, I know some data analysts that don't know how to write Excel, Power BI. So they don't necessarily need to know how to write a code. But data scientists should be able to write a code, should be able to write program, because the models you are going to train, you're going to write a code to do the training and all those things. So these are just the like a little differences between this. Then stepping into AI. How do I step into AI if I don't know anything about AI? I don't know machine learning, I don't know deep learning, not a data analyst, I don't know these things. I'm just starting up new. How do I step into AI? First, you need to start learning. Like There are a lot of things to learn. First thing is to learn. I'll still talk about this learning a bit, but just not to learn. Second, you need to build a portfolio. You can't build a portfolio when you've not learned. You can't work on a project when you've not learned anything. You learn first, then build a portfolio. By building a portfolio means that you, okay, sorry. To build a portfolio, you learn first, you work on projects. You work on a project. When you work on this project, that's you're building a portfolio. You have to, of course, put it for the world to see. You don't work on it and leave it on your laptop. You can put it on GitHub or GitLab. These are the major sources that the major places people share their code. Put the code, your project on GitHub or GitLab, or even host the code online. Can put it in an app or whatever. So that's building a portfolio. The thing is to participate in hackathons and competitions is very, very necessary. Yeah, I've been to hackathons and all those things. Participate in a hackathon competition, see what others are doing, and so I can be able to work in a team, because working in AI, working in the industries, you don't just work solo. So the next thing is to get an internship or an entry-level job. It's always good to start with an internship, is to into the job. It's actually funny that at times in the job, the people that you're working with, they're not the ones that advertise the job. So at times they'll be treating you as if you know everything. Very, very overwhelming. Even internship, I just need to say this, that internship is not necessarily a place just to go. But it's more, to me, it's more of doing than even it's learning and doing. But at times, the internship, they expected you to have things. You're not just going there with blank whatever, then they will start teaching you how to write code. No, they expect you to have known a lot of things. Of course, they will still give you some materials to learn. But as you are learning, you are working. Actually, I once did an internship and it was very, very overwhelming then. So, and of course, it's always good to, even before this internship, it's always good to, I did a boot camp for 6 months before I actually got the job I'm doing. It really helps. It helps a lot. So next, network, of course, networking can be over. Is very, very important. In fact, the first internship I got was through LinkedIn. I was on LinkedIn. I saw a guy, a senior developer. So I just chatted him up and said, please, I've been looking for limitations. He was like, okay. Send my CV to him. Then the next day, the HR called me. The next week, they scheduled an interview. The upper week, I was accepted and all for the internship. So networking is very doing now. It was a friend who attended their open day. Then when he went there, he got the link, sent the link to me. I applied for the job. I didn't even know what the company does. I was never, because I was been applying for several jobs then. So I was never interested in knowing what they do actually. I'll just click, apply. First I was taken to a page where I wrote a test. I was just writing tests, apply. The company does. It was when I was to have the interview with them, because there will be the assessments, online assessments and all those things. That was when I now said, so this was pharmaceutical. Yeah, I started learning about them then. So networking is very, very important. Then, of course, even when you've gotten the job, you need to continue learning, because if you don't continue learning, that's the field of AI is an ever-changing field. New technologies are coming up. A lot of things are coming up. So AI is always on the move. So you should actually know that. So the next thing I have here is what to learn. You need to learn programming. Yes, you want to come into AI, I want to be an AI engineer, data scientist, machine learning engineer, machine learning scientist, even a data analytics. You need to learn to code. Yes, then you need to know statistics, because statistics help you to evaluate your model. We use statistical measures to evaluate the model, even to get insight into your data. You don't need to train any machine learning model. You can just look at the data by visualization, by applying some statistical measures. You will reach a conclusion without training any machine learning model. So learn data exploration and visualization. Machine learning, of course, deep learning and big data. I mean, you can even follow them sequentially like this. Sequentially is good. Or you can learn programming and statistics simultaneously. So because by learning the statistics, we need to maybe translate some of them also code. So it depends, but I think learning programming and statistics simultaneously should be a very good start. Yeah, it's very, very. Then machine learning, of course, you learn deep learning after machine learning. You can even get it after the first 4 steps, or even after the first 3. I think after the first 3, you can be a data analyst. Then after the first 4, you can be a data scientist. Yeah, you're a data scientist after the first 4. You don't need to know deep learning to be a data scientist. Yeah, but if you go into deep learning, it's very necessary, especially in the era of big data. Big data, when we have big data, then you start talking about deep learning. Okay, so things you can learn on Coursera, you can learn on Udemy, you can learn on EDX and Udemy, and there are other things. I also want to state that Coursera, personally, I have a course on Udemy. I have like 3 courses on Udemy, but they are on MATLAB. And I didn't make those courses when I was still in Nigeria, when I was doing my master's at University of Ibadan. And that was when I made those courses. And I still earn money from those courses. Last month, I still earned some money. So I just uploaded the course, Udemy courses, yeah. From those. But personally, I like learning from Coursera because Coursera is being taught, their instructors and all those things. Some of the courses in Coursera are being taught by top universities, companies. Like recently, I was learning, so recently Meta, they published some courses. So courses on engineering and front end and all those things. So on Coursera, maybe it would be good to start with the popular Andrew Ng. Andrew Ng, he's a professor in Stanford University. Yeah, so and he works in deep learning AI. So he has a course there on introduction to machine learning. I think that was where I started. Yes, and it was very to teach you both the programming and the mathematics behind the machine learning. And the professor is very, very good at that. So I will advise you to start with his course on machine learning. Of course, that's if you already have foundation in statistics. And I believe that this platform is for alumni of FUTO. So every FUTO graduate did statistics, did mathematics. Yeah, so you should be good to go. Just for you to just brush up your mathematics. And mathematics is not even like a big mathematics. Essentially, mathematics there, you need linear algebra. Just know how to understand matrices and vectors, how to manipulate. Then that is one. Understand matrices and vectors. One, then of course differentiation, because when you start talking about machine learning, if the way the algorithm learns is mostly using gradient descent, so you need to know how to differentiate. Differentiation. These are the 3 major mathematics: linear algebra and differentiation. They are the major things that you need to know to be able to start up with machine learning. Yeah. Then I think Coursera is a very good thing. Then you can start with Andrew Ng's course on Introduction to Machine Learning. Of course, you'll be able to ask your questions after now. I did this presentation in such a way that it will be question-based because there are a lot of materials on on AI. So, and I know that you have more questions from over the years. I've come to understand that in every presentation, give little time for presentation, then let there be a lot of time for questions, because that's where more insight is being gotten from. Okay, so in here is, yeah, ChatGPT. As I said, my area of specialty in my company, I'm employed as a NLP data scientist and engineer. So I work with natural language processing, essentially. I get text data and I translate it to a language computer could understand. I train models with it, make predictions and all those things. And recently, my company, we are even using, I got a project recently we started working on, want to use ChatGPT. I mean, ChatGPT just came out and it was making wave, and we want to try out some features in our project. Although there are other things, ChatGPT is doing just that. We've had like GPT-2, GPT-3, GPT 3.5. I think GPT 3.5 should be this ChatGPT we've been talking about. So there are a lot of machine models, some models that have been invoked. Now, ChatGPT, in case you've not heard it, and actually this part now I'm showing you now, I just asked ChatGPT to do what it does, and this what was that it generates human-like text for using chatbots and visual assistants. It also answers questions. You can use it for question answering. You can submit some documents and allow it to answer questions based on that, or you can just ask it any question. Like if you ask it the president of Nigeria, it will just tell you that it's Muhammad Buhari and all those things. Although it has limitation, it was in 2021. So after 2021, every other information that is on the web is not, I mean, it does not really help you with information. Okay, so it can help you to generate stories, can write stories, can write articles. People are using it to write publications, to write papers. It can summarize the text for you, it can translate things, it can generate code. You can use it to write code on React, right? You can use it to write test cases, you can use it to translate code. You have a MATLAB code, you can translate it to Python, you have a Java, it does all those things. So you can even auto interactions. So it can assist you in content creation and editing and a whole lot of things ChatGPT can be used for. Okay, so I have 3 cases that I want us to work on with ChatGPT. Yes, just this. Then we'll talk about your questions. So go to a practical section. Are we still here?
Yeah, still here. Still.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about ChatGPT. I want to drag this thing on here. Okay, I will minimize this. Okay. So let's just search ChatGPT OpenAI. Okay. Please.
Okay.
So, okay. We'll use another laptop to make this next presentation. In this current laptop, I've not signed up with it before, so I don't want to waste our time with signing up and all those things. Bro, Wisdom, how much?
Sorry, I wasn't keeping track of the times. That.
Yes, I think you have 10 minutes to go.
Okay. All right.
Then we'll take questions.
Okay. All right, so I need to turn off my presentation.
So while the guy is setting up the laptop, please prepare your questions and put them in the chat. We don't need to wait for the section of question and answers. Just type them up as they come so you don't forget. You can send them to me or to Brian, or you put them on the chat just like that. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm going to, let's take a look at ChatGPT. I mean, now we're going to ask it some questions first. Let's say I'm a person that want to. A moment, please. I need to do something. Okay. Let me turn on my video. Yeah, let's say that I want to prepare Christian marriage, and I just come to ChatGPT. It prepare a sermon on Christian marriage. Okay. Error. I need to reload. Sorry. So it's already starting to generate the text. All right. So just look at the structure. Everything looks cool. Let's say then I remember that, I mean, Deeper Life, we always use 3 subheadings, right? break the sermon into 3 subtopics. You see, the first one is the reflection of Christ and the church in marriage. Second, the challenges and growth in marriage. Third, of prayer and support for marriage. Can I say 3 reference, Bible references to each subtopic? So and the church in marriage, you see Ephesians, it even called it the main reference. Then it gave other sub. So, I mean, and this is not just peculiar to just this. This is just wonderful for my own end. And I've used it in different things. This one is just one case study on the Bible. You can ask it any question from the Bible and it gives you a response. Okay, then the next thing now, let's just get a code in MATLAB and tell it to translate it for us. But, you have a code, maybe as the MATLAB is loading, let's do this. Okay, let's say I have a different topic to discuss. All right. So now let's translate this code. All right, it's still loading. Sorry, tell it to write a code in Python that finds the, is it, maybe let's just talk of maybe what should this code now do? Okay, that finds the, let's say, shortest path in a network. Remember, we just asked to find the shortest path in a network. There are different algorithms. Then it's talked about the Dijkstra algorithm, and then one of the most popular and efficient one is this algorithm. Then he started writing the code for it for us. It's giving us an example of usage, how to use it. Then the next thing is that it will try to explain the code for you. It's not telling you some of the packages, the basic implementation of Dijkstra's algorithm using Python, this network X. Actually, I use this network X in my research. You see this very clean, very efficient code. You can even give it a code and tell it to optimize the code for you. It will go ahead to optimize the code. Let me talk about this. Let's just pick this. I'm just picking this function from this MATLAB, and I want it to, I'll give you a code in MATLAB to translate to, or let's just say to Java. All right. So, brethren, this is where AI is going. AI is about taking all our jobs. But all right, I think that's all I have now. If you want to know more about ChatGPT, to know how it can help, I mean, it can help you in your job, it can help you in your career, and every other thing. So I think let me just drop this link here. So this is the link. All right, so I think that's all about my presentation. So I'm open for questions now.
Wow. That was just a wonderful presentation and demo of AI. I mean, ChatGPT, I think it was just November 2022. It just,
Yeah.
and it's so powerful. Only God knows what's possible the next thing after ChatGPT. Interesting. So, thank you for the presentation, sir. Questions, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, bro. And it's just amazing, honestly. I know about ChatGPT though, so though I've not really been utilizing it, but I hope to start utilizing it very well soon enough. Yeah, what also I would want to ask. Yeah, so the first is about because I also do some writing. I do some form of writing, and I've been writing for some time now. And sometimes I get to, okay, actually, for those who want to go abroad to study, and sometimes I write for maybe someone in mathematics. I get a client that wants to go and study mathematics, so I get to write an SOP for mathematics. Then probably my next 2 or 3 clients maybe still going to study mathematics. So I was just thinking at a point, how possible is it, or how can I actually achieve it? Because I want to train. I have text. The information is in text, so I want to models with some of this my text data, some of my text write-ups that I've been doing over time, maybe for a particular course, maybe somebody that wants to study mathematics. So I want to train the model with that data, so that at every point in time, it will generate different, to spin out different statements of purpose for me, even for the same mathematics. Like if I tell it, give me statement of purpose, going to study mathematics, it should give me something different. When I ask it again, it should give me something different, so that to avoid. So I was wondering, how do I achieve this? Well, currently I use JavaScript for programming. So is it possible? I know I came across brain.js. It's a JavaScript library for artificial intelligence, though, but I've really not used it. So, but I want to know, number one, how can I achieve? I want to convert it, train a model with it to give me what I want. And number two, I use JavaScript for programming. I don't use Python. So what can you say in this regard? I still have more questions, but you can take this first. Thank you.
Okay, first is that, I mean, one, ChatGPT could help you. Okay, that's one.
Okay.
But now, to train the model, you need thousands of use examples, not 1,000, not even 10,000.
Wow.
Something like ChatGPT has been trained on billions of data. And yeah, so, and for you now, first, do you know, have you trained a model before?
No, I've not.
So you need to first take a course on it if you want to do it. Yeah, you have to start learning AI first. Then while learning, try and focus on natural language processing, because that's what does those things. All those it's just natural language processing, natural language understand the natural language and all those things. So yeah, I think that's just where to start. That's
yeah,
where
but,
to
but
start.
what language must it be? Python that I use? Like, can I use any programming language to train?
There is, of course, you can use any programming language, but one thing about Python is that many libraries have been built on Python.
Okay.
That you don't need to write some things afresh from scratch. Of course, I know that, but companies that write from, some of them use C++ because it's closer to the hardware, so it's faster. So some use C++. Yeah, but I mean, if your own is that you want to learn to be able to be training models, and of course to use the available packages along the way. So there are a lot of available packages in Python. So yeah, so I always advise someone that wants to go into data science, I advise you to go through Python. Of course, R is there, and R is also very, very good. Yeah, but Python has more of these things. So the major languages used in data science is Python, then R. There are the two major distincts, yes.
Okay.
So, but it's not something that don't you just describe as just jump in and start doing it, not even in the next 1 month. You understand?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. So you talked about the fact that what you do is you get information, like you get textual data and you pass it and you're able to train the model in your current place of work. So how do you achieve this? What language do you use?
In my workplace, I use Python.
Yeah. Okay, Python.
Yeah, I use Python, yeah.
Okay. So let me just give the chance for others. I actually have more questions. Like it's just, I will not monopolize the session. So if other people have questions, they can actually ask. But if none, then probably I could go ahead. Mr. Enke.
Okay, thank you, Bro Wisdom. We'll come back to you. Does anyone have more questions? Yes.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are we doing? It's glad to be in our midst once again. I'm Chuku Santiti by name.
Yeah,
welcome, sir.
It's been a while. I so much appreciate for your insightful presentation. It was quite glowing.
Thank you, sir.
It is a privilege. I actually trying to figure out the application of this AI in my own field, public health. Do I have it? This AI could be used in mitigating disease prevention in terms of prediction.
Yes, I mean, yes. You know, first I work in a pharmaceutical and we use AI for drug discovery. We need to monitor for drug trials and all those things. But in public health, data, any place there is data, there is AI.
In epidemiology.
Yes, any place there is data. No, apart from epidemiology, to me, like for example, if you come to health section, medical doctors, they have scans, and at times medical doctors look at the scans to know whether this person have cancer or not. Once you have thousands and thousands of those things, you don't need a human being to do it again. This one is for medical doctors now. You don't need a human being to do it again. Machine can learn from it and start doing those things. In epidemiology, for instance, now you have data, you collect data, you can predict maybe whether there will be disease in this place, an outbreak of disease in this other place, and all those things. You have data from the previous times, you collected some data, and from this data, there was at this particular point in time. And there's outbreak of disease with this other line of data, there was outbreak of disease here at this particular time. So when you have thousands of those data now, you can then predict using this data collected from this area, will there be an outbreak of disease? You can not get the time when to expect it, when to expect the disease to come to an. You know, I've done mathematical modeling before, and I know that the difference between AI, like data science, and mathematical modeling is that for mathematical modeling, you already have the equation. Okay, you have the equation, but AI now helps you to, like, those equations, like if I say like A1 times X1 plus A2 times X2, maybe it's equals to something. A now, like the coefficients. In mathematical modeling, we try to get those things, but in machine learning now is that we have a data. We want to learn those coefficients, we want to learn them. And with those A now, we can then prediction or whatever. So in public health, data science is very public health. I mean, it's very much used. Even recently, like the COVID, during the outbreak of COVID, like trying to know, okay, what's the population, how population is. There were hackathons, they were even organized for that, for people to use the COVID to make some predictions, to maybe know when COVID will end, how many people will die, and all those things. So those things in public health is very much used. You have to just Google it, the use of AI or where machine learning comes to play in public health, and you'll see that, I mean, it's something that is very much used in epidemiology.
Thank you for the input you have made, because presently I know that I'm very sound in epidemiology and biostats, and somebody was a program on informatics. So when you come up, that is even where my mind on medical, being that I do some works on data management, data analysis. So the person was saying about health informatics and the other. But so when I saw this AI, so I was like, is there any relationship between that health informatics and AI?
Okay.
I don't know whether
I think you mean health informatics.
Yeah, and the machine learning you're talking about, and how can one in this AI? Okay, is there any relationship between the both?
You say you know data analysis, you do data analysis on those data, right?
As in data analysis, not analytics,
okay, data,
as in using SV.
Yeah, use what? SV what? SV what? SVM.
SPSS.
Okay, SPSS.
SPS.
Okay.
Yeah.
So me, data analysis is like you get insights, right? You try to analyze the data, but you can't really maybe start making prediction, because to make a prediction, you need a model, right? So that's where machine learning comes to play. Machine learning will help you now to generate the model to use to start making these predictions. So, I mean, they're all related, but it's like an advanced step further. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the information. Because one thing I could get is for one to really get an in-depth knowledge about it, you must do some programming, as just mentioned in your presentation.
Yes, and just try and Google it also. Just try and make a research first on it. So that, because like if you want to learn Python now, there's Python for software development, there's Python for data science. Okay. Yeah, so it will help you Google it first we can even discuss later on. I mean, later I can help you to make a search on it and to know how to focus your learning.
It's okay.
All right.
It's okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Follow up on that. How do people get in touch with you, please?
On LinkedIn. Yes. LinkedIn is the best place. You can give them my LinkedIn ID. Yes, it's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. More questions? Okay, I have questions too, while others are thinking about what they'll ask. So my questions center more on the entering part, like entering AI. So like, what is a time estimate of how long it would take if someone like doesn't know, like an average FUTO graduate and maybe know some statistics, but maybe not much programming, and the person wants to get into AI, you know, and there's a lot of things to learn. The stats, the programming, the machine learning, deep learning. So the time estimate it would take to get to the stage of being able to at least get some internship or like a training job or join a, and then from there move on in artificial intelligence.
Okay. It depends on which area of AI the person wants to venture into. If it is data analytics, there's data analytics and data engineering. These are the three major areas. Data analytics is the easiest to get into. I mean, it's the easiest that even without knowledge of programming, knowing statistics, the normal statistics, the person can get a boot camp. The person can go into boot camp. Yeah, or the person can take online courses and then try to get an internship. So I think with that, with basic mathematics and statistics that a FUTO graduate knows, 4 months is okay for someone to even get an intern for data analytics or data analytics. Yeah, 4 months is okay. But for data science, I can say 6 months. The reason for this is because where I did people struggled a lot. People that came for boot camp with just the knowledge of the elementary mathematics and all those things. Having your hands very strong in programming is very, very necessary before you get into boot camp in data science. Very, very necessary. So Python, let's say you start learning Python, which to me is the easiest to learn, and also to me data science. Actually, for me, people have their own preference also. So if the person start learning Python, it depends on how many hours the person spent on the Python in a day. I can't say 1 month, just doing it once in a week or 2 hours in a week. So it depends. Maybe 1 month of Python, if the person can dedicate 1 month to learn Python, then after learning Python for 1 month, the person can get a boot camp. The person can get a boot camp, and in the next 6 months in the boot camp, the person should be good enough to do this thing. In the next 6 months, the person should be an internship or even an entry-level job also. So I'm speaking based on here. I mean, here, even internship, they expect you to be very, very good, even in the internship. Yeah, so I think 1 month of personal distance learning Python, 6 months of bootcamp. Either 6 months of bootcamp, or even if the person doesn't want, or maybe doesn't have the money to, person can take a course online, maybe on person to have a mentor that will guide the person. You take the course, maybe in the next 5 months, you finish a course, then build portfolio, of course, while taking the course. I think with that also, finishing maybe a course, now a specialization on maybe data science in Coursera, the person should be good enough to, if you finish that specialization in data science, then you should, if you finish it and you finished it, that, I mean, you did it thoroughly, that course, not line, and you are copying answers to submitting your project. People do it a lot. They will give you a project, you copy that project, put it on Google, it will bring us people's work on GitHub, and you put it there and you submit and you finish it within 1 month or 2 months. But if you finish a specialization thoroughly, then you are good enough to entry level this thing, entry level in a company internship. I think that's good enough. But of course, for you to be able to do those specializations on your own, you should have spent some time, maybe 1 month, and study, say, Python, to study programming. Then you start and on data science, this thing. Then 6 months, once you just finish that specialization in science, you should be able to kick off a career. Yeah.
So that's 6 consistent and serious.
Consistent. Yes, 6 months is okay.
Okay. So there's a question in the chat which you may already have addressed. Are there specific boot camps, paid or unpaid, that you would recommend to go into data science or?
Okay, the one I did, unfortunately, is just for Europeans. Okay, for people in Europe here, and they don't even admit data. They've closed the data science part. They're only focusing on software development, because development, they can bring someone that studied marketing and teach the person to write code. You can't just bring someone, you have to teach the person mathematics. And mathematics normally, it takes you years to know mathematics. You start teaching statistics before you start teaching the person programming. So as you are teaching everything, I mean, everything is very much overwhelming. So it's not really marketable for the body. So it's like there's flat run or what in the US, those ones you need to pay. But for Nigerian, seriously, I will need to research on the Nigerian market. I know that there are some companies that do those data science for Nigeria market. There are actually, maybe if someone knows, the person can even post it on in our group chat or whatever. But I will also try to research on that, and I'll drop it in a group chat.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay.
Questions. I still have more questions, but I'll let others go. Anyone have a question, please? Shoot. Ask your question so you clear all your doubts here today.
Yeah, okay, so I wanted to ask, what's really the dividing line between AI and machine learning?
AI is machine learning is, let's say AI is, you are trying to transfer knowledge to a machine, right? And one of this knowledge is machine learning. Machine learning is just machine to learn. So to me, at times, some of these things are like terminologies, just like some words. At times, they are being used interchangeably. The bootcamp I attended, they call it AI engineering. And what did I do in the bootcamp? Machine learning, deep learning. You see that? So all these things are like, to me, AI is artificial intelligence. So when you train a system, you train a system to understand, to think like human. The way we do that is through machine learning. Use machine learning algorithms to train the system. So when you must have trained this system, you say, this is artificial intelligence. It's an intelligence, and it's like thinking like a human, it's behaving like a human, but it's actually artificial. You see that? So it's just like, at times you may see AI engineering. Why this thing? There they will be teaching you machine learning, because machine learning is teaching the computer to learn. Teach it, then it has learned, it behaves like human. artificial intelligence. That's just what it is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So I want to ask on the GitHub, because it's a good place to go and showcase one's projects and capabilities with data science and AI. So what will be a good way to get introduced to GitHub? Because it looks kind of complex a bit when I looked at it. Yeah, so
yeah,
learn how
GitHub.
to.
Okay, GitHub and Git. There's also Git. GitLab. Git is like a way of communicating between your system and the remote. The remote is the GitHub. That is a place where you host your code. Let's say we use the GitHub. Git will help you to track the code, like code even, not only code. Maybe you're working on your research, you're doing your research work. If your system may crash, at times you may decide to back it up on maybe on Google Drive, but it does not track the version. Let's say that you are, okay, let's say that you made a change and you discover that you wanted to go back to the previous ones. So Git will help you to manage those, to move from one version of your code or one version of your, or whatever you want, you're working on, to another. So this, that's a local repository. So GitHub now will help you to move everything online, to be online, and also for people to see it. You can make it public or private. So one of the best way of learning it is there are courses, there are short courses that introduce you to the use of free. There should be free courses on LinkedIn for GitHub. There should be free courses on LinkedIn that will introduce you to GitHub. Yeah, and also this Audacity is on LinkedIn, on GitHub, introduction to GitHub also. Audacity is US based, but of course you should be able to access it also. So it will introduce you to, I mean, because it's necessary when you start writing code, you need to push your code to GitHub. So there are free courses on LinkedIn and Audacity.com also. They will give you that will introduce you to how to use GitHub. Yeah.
Thank you. So someone is asking like course-specific questions on ChatGPT, like how to prompt it to answer some questions, like specific to.
Yeah, ChatGPT, just talk to it as if you're talking to a human. That's just the thing. That's the, okay? Just talk to it as if you're talking. Stand like human. Just say, oh, maybe, oh, I want to do this. Could you help me do this? Say, for instance, you have a line of code or a line of things that you can maybe type it on Word documents or copy it from somewhere, then paste it, because it's like when you type one line, if you click on this arrow, this thing, to submit. So yeah, just type it in maybe a Word or Notepad or whatever, then just put it. At times when you just put it first, it may tell you, oh, I don't know what to do with this. What do you want me to do with this or whatever? And say, I want you to do this thing to this. Using this, the information provided above, just do this. So, and just keep interacting with it. Point, if maybe it gives you some things and you don't really understand, you can just copy that line that you don't understand and tell it that you can put it in a question and say, explain this thing or expatiate on this line. Like when I was giving that message outline and it gives me those subheadings, I can pick one of those titles. Maybe that how to make a good Christian home. Can just copy that in and say, and you can just tell it, expatiate on this, or give me a detailed description of this. I mean, it's just remembers the things you sent to it before. All those is stored in the memory. It remembers all of them. So you can just continue this chat as if you are chatting with a human being. The human being remembers the previous things and all those things. Just interact with it as if it's a human. Don't just maybe searching on Google at times. You just put on, no, this one, just try to make it flow as if you're chatting with a human being. So he's been trained to understand human language to some extent. Of course, not 100% this thing, but yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yes, we have time for one more question. Does anybody want to ask a question? Okay.
Yeah, and the brother asked that specific bootcamp this thing. Okay, I think I understand it's not even in Nigeria. All right. I think I know some UK this thing based bootcamp. Maybe I will drop it on the this thing on our alumni group this thing also. Maybe for those that are based in the UK and Europe also. Yeah. So I'll do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So one question I want to ask is just, so what do we have to look forward to in trying to build our skills in artificial intelligence? Like, what is the perk? What's there to look forward to entering the field?
Oh, yes. Okay. This is it. One is there's money in it. I mean, there's money. Okay. Where I'm based, there is like a divide. There's a huge gap between those that are working in IT and those that are not working in IT in the salary. Working in IT, you might be entering you might be going into entry level. While someone that's already senior in a non-IT this thing, you that is entering, your salary could even be up to, at times, it could be like ×2 of the person, or ×1 senior in a different role. Why you? That is already nice. So if it's for money in IT, there's money in IT. Well, there's money in IT. That one is this thing. Even with the wave of GPT, it's not taking our job for now. Okay, the job is still there. We are still training it. We need more people to train it. Even there is ChatGPT. Someone was telling me today that Google have their own, and Google said that their own is better than ChatGPT. There is just ChatGPT. You see that they are their own. They are trying to bring some limitations of ChatGPT and all this. So there is still very much opportunity for us. So there is money in it. And apart from money, the kind of can stay in your house and work. And apart from that, I mean, it's not like some people, you start work in the morning, you have to report, I'm at work. At times, some of the work is, you're being given a task within the next 2 weeks. If you're very good, you can do that task in a day. But when you finish that task in that day, your 2 weeks, it depends on decide what to do with your 2 weeks and all those things. So to me, for me personally, there's something that I can be doing it and at the same time be doing some other things. So to me, AI, and it's coming to stay. That's the thing. And it's even entering into other fields. Taking it in your field, if you decide not to develop yourself in programming and AI, you may be left behind. Presently here, I'm in Poland. I know that here now, everybody is running around now. Because any field you are in, entering that field, AI is entering that field. So, and you just need to know how to write code. Yes. Not just that AI will replace, I mean, before even AI, just push you aside because they need someone that is a mathematician and can code. They need someone that is you're a lawyer and you know natural language process documents that you need to read through. You don't need to read them again. Just analyze those documents, summarize them for you, bring out the key points. You need anything you want to talk about, you have a case that you want to handle, and you want specific things, those things, you just type it and it will just extract those things for you. You can go to those, give you all the information that you want from those documents. So it's just something that will help in your career, help in your field. I mean, the benefit is is, I mean, is saying it is just, I don't know how to describe it. Work, I mean, it's just helping me and all those things. It helps. It's just there. It's just there. It's something that even let it be that the least you can know. You know how to write code. Even if you don't know AI now, you don't want to go into AI, but know how to write code. Let it be the least that you can do. In it, whatever you are doing. For FUTO that is engineering and science, this thing, you went to a place where they did marketing or what's code at least. Let it be the least. So that's my advice.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please, let's applaud our speaker. Let's really thank him.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate
Thank you,
it.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, Tony. Thank you.
Yes, we have learned
Jerusalem,
a lot
brother.
this evening.
Thanks, Anthony, for
Yeah.
such a presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so before we call it an evening, I'm going to hand over to our president because he's on the line. Closing remarks and any other information. Felix, sir. The president. Okay, while we're waiting for him, let's, I put the contact of our speaker chats. He said the best way to contact him is on LinkedIn. So you will find Anthony Nwachukwu on LinkedIn and you can chat him up there. The president, you have the floor, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, President.
Welcome. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. I've been following the webinar for tonight, and it's been amazing, amazingly wonderful. And Tony, this is a spectacular presentation, and really appreciated well of this. And I'm looking forward to another moment where we'll be able to go more in depth into this, even if it comes to the point where we'll need to pay to get some of this from you, because it's relevant to every field and every area of study. And I trust that everybody time from now will not be able to run away from artificial intelligence as touching our various practices, whether academic, non-academic, or any other practice professionally. So thank you. We appreciate as many that have as well attend. Thank you for coming to attendance. And then I want to strongly appeal that we share an interest on the main platform, so that others who will read will know that something happened tonight, and they may have missed a lot. So as we fall back to the platform, so that it's not that the ESCO's doing the job. Every member, everyone who has attended this webinar tonight, I'm sure you have enjoyed it. You have gained platform, and really our accolades as well as appreciation to our guest, should I say guest lecturer, resource person this evening, so that others will be able to get more in anticipation for the next month's webinar. By that, we'll be doing a larger house. This very little segment or so. We still have over 85%. And so I think with much of our engagement on to testify of what we have benefited, particular program this evening, others will be able to, it will arouse their interest